welcome to my channel. My name is Kay if you're new here, and I love talking about Christian fiction books on this side of the internet. And this weekend, I have zero plans. I have nothing I need to do other than keep myself and my 2-year-old child alive, and I've caught up on all the house chores. I'm caught up on all the Patreon stuff. I'm caught up on all the video content stuff. So I'm going to try very, very hard to read as much as I can this weekend. I don't know what it is, but every time I have a day where I don't have any responsibilities, I somehow compile a list of responsibilities out of thin air that then I start doing. So other than keeping up with laundry and dishes this weekend, I'm just going to try to read as much as I absolutely can. And I don't know if this video is going to be only one weekend because there's a whole book that I want to vlog within it. And if I finish it this weekend, honestly, awesome. Here's what I'm going to be reading in this vlog. I need to finish Romancing Daphne by Sarah M. Eden. This is the third book in the Lancaster Regency family romance series. I'm absolutely loving it. I have this on Kindle right now and it's telling me I have like 90 minutes left of reading time. So I'm going to try to get that done as soon as I finish my Bible study this morning. I do have a rule that I'm not allowed to read any fun words until I read the word. So if I don't have time for my Bible, I don't have time for other fun books. I'm going to get my Bible study done, then I'm going to hunker down and finish this book. And then the main book that I really want to vlog is Theo of Golden in this video because I am a Christian booktuber. My thing is reading Christian fiction books, and then I have a splash of just like regular clean books. This book super duper popular across the board between Christians and non-Christians. I want to let you guys know what this is all about. I'm going to go ahead and just read the blurb for you now. One spring morning, a stranger arrives in the small southern city of Golden. That's just so cute. No one knows where he has come from or why. His name is Theo, and he asks a lot more questions than he answers. Theo visits the local coffee house where 92 pencil portraits hang on the walls. Portraits of the people of Golden done by a local artist. He begins purchasing them one at a time and putting them back in the hands of their rightful owners. With each exchange, a story is told, friendship born, and a life altered. A story of giving and receiving, of seeing and being seen. Theo of Golden is a beautifully crafted novel about the power of creative generosity, the importance of wonder to a purposeful life, and the invisible threads of kindness that bind us to one another. It just sounds like such a cozy and like it's going to be an inspirational read. So I'm really excited to read this. So those are the books I'm going to be reading in this vlog. And then I'm also planning to catch up on some reading journaling with you guys because I have a package coming in the mail, I believe tomorrow. It's just going to have a ton of stickers and journaling supplies. So I'm really excited about that. Stay tuned. We're gonna get into some stuff this weekend, and I'm going to try so hard not to self-sabotage my reading time because I always do it. But we're going to make this video to keep me accountable to actually spend the time that I have to read on reading. So I will see you around. It is 1:29 p.m. Friday afternoon. I just finished my Bible study and I doom scrolled for like 45 minutes. So I'm putting my phone away. The good thing is is on Fridays. I use this app called App Block, and it pretty much does everything that the brick, have you guys seen like that brick thing going around? It like blocks you out of the apps on your phone and you can't get back into them unless you like touch your device to the brick device. However, it's like way more affordable than brick, but also like you can't break the rules. I only get 2 hours of social media on Fridays. That's going to be given up anytime soon, so I will not be caught doom scrolling for much longer. But let's go ahead and finish Romancing Daphne. I'm so excited to finish this book. I've been reading it for like a week. I feel like I always have 1 to 2 weeks every month where I am the slowest reader on the planet, and then I have like a few days where I just read so much in one day. Today and tomorrow and Sunday will hopefully be those days. But let's go ahead and get to Romancing Daphne. Can you say hi? I got distracted. It is now 5:36 and I've read like 2 more chapters of this, but in my defense, so I went downstairs to sit in our sunroom and I realized it was the most beautiful day outside. So I decided to take Zion outside to play, and we were out there for like an hour or so. It was super duper muddy out and I knew he was gonna get super dirty, so we played outside for an hour. I tried to read while we were out there. I think I finished a chapter while we were out there and he was running around, but then he was so muddy so we had to come inside. I had to give him a bath, but then I had a spurt of energy and I decided to do some Zumba at home. Zumba is one of my absolute favorite workouts. It's seriously just so much fun, and I haven't done it in like 9 months. Going outside today, getting in the sun for a good hour, and then coming inside and doing one of my favorite exercises was just so good for me. But I still haven't finished this, and I was hoping to be finished with this hours ago. But you know, it was a good productive day still, and tomorrow I still don't have anything planned. I will check in when I officially start Theo of Golden. Hello. It is now Saturday morning, 11:37, March 7th. I have coffee from my favorite coffee shop. My sweet husband went and picked it up this morning. I have some reading updates for you. So I finished Romancing Daphne last night, and this book is just so wholesome, you guys. This is the 3rd book in the Lancaster family series, and you're following Daphne. And I'm just going to give like a super quick brief overview because I don't want this book to be the focus of the video, but I loved it. This was a 5-star. This follows Daphne, and she is like the forgotten middle child, and she just has a hard time seeing her worth and her value. She lost her mom at a very young age, and then her dad grew distant after that due to his broken heart, and so she has a lot of like childhood issues, feelings of abandonment as a child and that kind of stuff. And so seeing her story, seeing her fall in love, and seeing somebody give her kindness and show her desire and want, and showing her that her presence is valued, that she is a wanted lady, that she's not a burden to others. It was just such a sweet, wholesome story. It had a little bit of a different vibe from the first 2 books. The first 2 books were super funny. This one still had quite a bit of humor in it, but it just felt a little more deeper and personal, and I adored it so much. I have my Goodreads review up, so I'll link that in the description box, and and I just love the Lancaster family series, y'all. I love it so much and I cannot wait to continue. The next update is last night I did start Theo of Golden. I think I read the prologue in the first 2 chapters and now I am on page 37. So I'm on chapter 7 and I wanted to stop and give you first impression thoughts, and then I would like to check in at the middle and then at the end. And if there's anything else I feel like I need to stop and update you on, I will, but I feel like I'm just going to try to binge read this whole book today if I can. I've got the audiobook on Spotify, so I'm going to try to listen and read, and I can see myself reading this whole thing today. In this book, you're following Theo, and Theo is a newcomer to the town Golden. He says he's there on business, but I'm not quite sure what the business is that he's there for because he hasn't explained that. I'm wondering if we'll find out later, but at the moment I just feel like he's on the Lord's business. If that makes sense. So he is a very slice of life guy. He loves taking in the small details of the world around him. He is just like enamored by creation and the way things work, and because of that he reminds me so much of my best friend Catherine. He himself reminds me so much of her dad. So Mr. Bob, if you're watching this, hello. I love you and I hope you're doing well. But because of that, I just feel like I just love Theo so much already. He's such a sweet, wholesome man, and there's just such a light about him. So he goes into this coffee shop and he notices that there are all these portraits that are hanging up everywhere, and they're portraits that were pencil drawn, and their prices are only ranging from like $100 to $200. So he doesn't understand why people aren't buying them, because he's like, this artwork is amazing, and every single photo is actually of their regulars from the coffee shop. So Theo decides he's going to buy these one by one, and he is going to return the photos to the person that they are of. And it's so sweet because he just is meeting up with his first person at the spot that I'm at right now. He's so like nervous about this meeting, but he really feels strongly like he really wants to do this for this community of Golden, and it's just so wholesome. He sends a letter to the first lady, and I think her name is like Minette, and Minette is obviously cautious and wary and is like, there's this man, he wants to meet up with me and give me a drawing of me. So she's just kind of like, I don't know if I'm gonna get scammed, I don't know what's happening, but she decides to take the chance and go. Theo reveals that she's the first one that he is going to be giving a portrait to, and she was just like, well, why me? Like, there are 92 different portraits in there, why did you pick me out of all of them? And he's just kind of going into like what he saw in the portrait and what he saw in her face. He says like, you just looked like you might be the kindest person, you had the kindest face, and so I thought if I was going to take my chance and give away any of these, I would first start with the kindest face that I could find. And so he was really moved by her portrait, and it reminded him of a lost love from a very long time ago, and that story was just so wholesome. And I'm just going to kind of read this whole page to you because it moved me. So this is page 36. But she was a beautiful girl, a wonderful soul, and when I saw your eyes and your face, Minette, I saw her. So I chose you. How could I not? Theo paused, his gaze fixed on the portrait. He tapped it with his finger. There's strength in that face. He paused again. And bravery? Another pause. And kindness. Yes. And then a bit more softly, and sadness, the good kind. It is all there. Minette looked at her portrait in the frame, but she was clearly lost in thought. She swallowed. So you see sadness? Theo gave a small nod of affirmation and grimaced slightly. The face belongs to one who has suffered loss. That is what I thought when I first saw it, but perhaps I am mistaken. I hope I'm wrong. When he turned to look at Minette, thinking perhaps it was time to find another subject of conversation, he saw that her eyes were pooling with tears. Oh, my dear, I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It's okay, Mr. Theo. I didn't know it was so obvious, but her voice broke. Theo remained silent and gave her time to catch her breath. Finally, she spoke again. The portrait is telling you the truth. Well, sort of. I don't know that there is any strength or bravery or kindness, but there is sadness in that face. It has been there for a long time, and it seems to get deeper and deeper. It doesn't really make any sense, and it seems so stupid. Theo shook his head. No, my dear. Sadness might be many things, but it is rarely stupid. The good sadness I think, is always trying to tell us something very important. Ugh, and I don't know what it was just about that conversation and exchange, but just the thought of what we see in ourselves versus what others see when they look at us. There's just always such a contrast. But then also the important message that sadness isn't always a bad thing. There is such a thing as good sadness. I don't know, it just touched my heart, the way that Theo just communicated with her in that moment, and that she was so open to this stranger that she's never met, and that he was able to sense this sadness or longing or whatever it is in her. I pretty much just stopped reading there before I came on here, so I don't know what happens next, but if that's the vibe for the whole book, I am so here for it. He's just such a wholesome, I don't know another word for the story at this point, like 37 pages in, he's just such a wholesome character. And so that's where I'm at in Theo of Golden. I hope it's full of those kind of messages, and I feel like it probably is, and I can see why this book is that popular if it's filled with just wonderful themes like that. So I'm going to keep reading this. As I have more thoughts, I will touch base with you and let you know. I'm hoping to do a halfway through check-in and then when I finish the book. So far, I am enjoying this. I can see the hype and it's making me feel inspired to pick up my pencil and draw. Last summer, 2025, I started learning to draw for the first time as an adult, and I went on like a few months of doing just intensive training and learning, and I'm not very good, but it makes me want to pick up my pencil and start drawing again because there is so much beauty to be recorded, but also the creativity that God gives us and the ways that that creativity can bless other people is kind of one of the things that I'm picking up in this. And I don't know if that's the author's intent, but we were made by a creator to be creative, and I just love that so much. So anyway, Theo of Golden, I'm going to keep reading and I will let you know when I pick up next. But so far this book definitely just feels like a hug. Hoping that this angle is okay, but I just got a really exciting package. There's this company called Journalsay, and they actually asked me if they could send me some journaling supplies for my reading journal, and so I'm going to just go ahead and unbox all of that with you. I just want to thank them so much for sending this to me, and can we just talk about how cute this packaging is? Like, that is just me in a nutshell. Like, so cozy, so cottagey, very springy. I absolutely love it. So I'm going to unbox this with you. And just so you know, I do have an affiliate code with them. It will be found in my description box, and you will get a small discount on your order, and it does support me a little bit. So if you purchase anything, thank you so much. As you can see, the box did kind of go through the ringer a little bit though. It took a while to get here because it does come from overseas, but I'm really excited to get into this. So the first thing, I don't think these fit in the box, but these are different sticker packs with different seasons, because when I am doing my reading journal, I love to find stickers that fit the books. So when I saw all of these seasonal ones, I absolutely had to get them. So you can see there are so many that come in them. Those are so pretty. Oh, and they're like clear on the background. I love that. Oh, I love that. Like a little apple orchard, and they're like paintings. Oh, these ones are so cottagey. Oh, and these are matte. That's cool. It was so nice of them. They let me pick out whatever I wanted, so I would actually like everything from there. And they just gave me a coupon code. That was so nice of them. Oh my gosh, how cute. Thank you for supporting my small business. Here's everything in the box. This is like pretty hefty too. So, okay, I got a ton of stickers because stickers are just like my favorite thing. So these are sunset. Oh, so pretty. Do you see that artwork? Like, are you kidding me? The teacup? That could be used for like a Regency book. Then they had some of these different themed ones. So there was an Anne of Green Gables sticker book in Jane Austen. So let's go ahead and just open the Jane Austen one. But you can see there are so many different stickers in them. I definitely wanted some Regency stickers because that is the reading mood I'm currently in. Oh my word. Are you kidding me? The dancing. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, the love letter. That could be used for like Edenbrook. If you know, you know. Wait, oh my word. The cottage. Yes. Then they had these different themes of actual art from artists. So this was just like classism. Actually like a sturdy book. Like it's an actual book. You can cut these out and use them in a collage, or you can just leave it as a book because this is on like actual nice paper. I don't think these are stickers like I thought, but I'm not upset at that. Lots of different art, and you can just use that however you want. So like that sunset one, I also got a pink one, and what's past is prologue. So I think that's a summary theme. Now this is just a pack of papers I thought could be neat for like collaging, for the backgrounds. Okay, I have so many sticker books. I'm just gonna go through one of these with you, but this was probably my favorite collection that I found like this fall. It's called the Poetry of Life collection, and it's just got all these different seasons worth of artwork. Let's open the spring one because I'm in such a spring mood. The art style of these is really just what stood out to me because it's like watercolory almost. Like how beautiful. Look how bookish. Again, just stickers. Look at that. That's so pretty. The honey jar. Just pretty scenery and settings. Like this is going to make my reading journal absolutely come to life, and I cannot wait to use these sticker books. Like I am so excited about it. Okay, more classics. I found a Pride and Prejudice one, and then Romeo and Juliet. I thought this could be cool for maybe some like longer ago historical fiction. So again, there's just so much in each of these, and the artwork is absolutely incredible. Let's open Romeo and Juliet. Wow. This is just so beautiful. Oh my word. Look at those scenes. So romantic. Oh my word. Oh my word. Oh, look at the cloak. Oh, so cool. Oh, the girl, Juliet on the balcony. This house. Is that not beautiful? Oh my word. Like, can't you see these like in storybooks? Like these will be so perfect for the reading journal. Okay, we also have Wuthering Heights. I've never read this. I have no interest in reading this, but I thought this could just be good for any sort of darker Victorian historical books. I didn't buy it specifically because it is Wuthering Heights, but just for Victorian era books. But my absolute favorite, Little Women. We have to open this one. Oh my word, stop. Them as little girls. Oh, I just love the floral details in all of this. Oh my word. Look. That is so pretty. I love this so much. Oh, there we go. There's our girl Jo. Writing at her typewriter. There's our Lori. Oh my goodness. Isn't that darling? Like, that's my dream kitchen right there. That is my dream kitchen. The green cabinets, the wooden countertops, the farmhouse sink, like the ruffly curtains. That is my dream kitchen in a sticker. Our Lori is so handsome. Then we have one more of those little books, but this one's for spring. Go ahead and do a quick flip through. Oh, picnics. Oh my goodness. The goose in the mirror. Silly goose on the loose. Oh my word. I love it. You guys, I'm so excited to get into my reading journal and update some. There are several I have not added any stickers to because I've been waiting for this package to come in. because I knew there would be perfect stickers to really just make the stories come to life. So we'll do some reading journaling together probably tomorrow. Okay, the next thing I got were actually these glue tapes. I love using these because it's like, you know, like the whiteout rollers. It's essentially like a whiteout roller, but it's sticky. So you can use it to just tape in collage, and they come in really handy. They're not so messy, and I just love them so much. So I definitely had to get several of those butterfly old-timey pieces for collaging. Okay, I also got this. This is literally like a glue stick, but I got it for mailing, if I'm being honest. So you can see it's like sticky when you push down on it, but I got this because I send out a lot of mail to my patrons. Every single week I mail somebody some stickers and a card, so I just wanted this for gluing the letters shut, but I'm sure I'll use it in other areas with crafting. Okay, and then I got all of these different like washi tapes. This one is just like individual pieces, so they're like little rectangles that you just take off. The pattern is only on maybe like 1.5 inches, so I just thought this would be cute to add as collaging. But the green is my favorite color, nature is my favorite color, flowers are my favorite color. And then this one, again, I just thought this could come in handy for collaging, especially because I've been in such a historical reading mood. And isn't that so cute, the twine that came on that? I'll probably repurpose that. This one is like The Hobbit. Let's open that. But this one essentially does the same thing, but it's more secret garden. They are these little like landscapes. You just keep unrolling it and you can find different whimsical places. So this one reminded me of The Hobbit, and because my book club is doing The Hobbit right now in our tea in the Shire, I thought this would be so perfect for doing some scrapbooking, some journaling through my Lord of the Rings reading journey. The last thing in here is genius. I'd never seen something like this before, which is so silly because it's so basic. You guys are gonna literally be like, "K," and roll your eyes at me. But this is a little washi tape dispenser. So you line up your washi tapes and then you can pull it and it cuts it. So it's literally just a tape dispenser, but it's wider so you can fit multiple washi tapes in there. So let me do that. This is my current washi tape organization. I need to do better. You put it on the inside, my goodness. And then you push it through and then you just kind of twist it and it will lock it in place. But then you have the perfect little dispenser for your washi tape. Like, isn't that amazing? And then you can actually switch to this side. So this side has like a thinner serrated, is that the right word? Serrated edge than this side. So I'm very excited. I will be using this absolutely in my reading journaling. So the next time you see me with all of this stuff out, I will be doing some reading journaling. We'll do Theo of Golden together so you guys can watch my journaling process. But I'm so excited about this. And again, I just want to thank Journalsay for sending me all of this. And if you guys are interested, if you love journaling, please check out the link in my description box and it will save you a little bit of money and it supports me. So there we go, Journalsay unboxing. Now, it's time to go read. 5:18 p.m. on Saturday. I'm 103 pages into Theo of Golden, so that's about a quarter of the way. I'm gonna wait to give you an actual thorough update until I'm halfway through, but I just want to let you guys know what I'm doing tonight. I am going to be doing Discord sprints with my patrons, and I'm just so excited. I have had a twinge of a headache for 3 days now, and I was planning on just jumping on live stream sprints with them, but I think sitting in front of a screen for a few hours will only do me a disservice. So what our goal is that we are all going to read, I think until I finish this book, that's my goal, or until we collectively as a group hit, I think I said 125 chapters, so we'll just see. When I sprint with my patrons, I always give us a collective chapter goal for everybody to aim towards. So it doesn't matter how long or short chapters are, as long as we hit the goal collectively. So if there's 100 chapters, not every single person needs to read 100 chapters, just as a group during sprints we hit that goal. And then I will draw a name and I will mail out some bookish and Christian stickers and bookmarks marks and that kind of stuff to whoever won, just because it's fun and it helps everybody actually read during reading sprints. So we're going to be doing Discord sprints tonight because, again, headache sitting in front of the camera will only make it worse. So we're gonna check in every hour on the hour. My goal is until I finish this book. So we'll see if I actually get it finished tonight, but I believe I maybe have 5 hours of the audio on 2x speed, but I'm absolutely loving it. So I feel like it's doable. We're gonna start at 6 o'clock, so I'm usually up until midnight anyway. So we'll see if Zion will let me get that far. If not, I will come pretty darn close to finishing this tonight. I'm very excited. I've got quite a bit of tabs. All of my tabs are golden, and I'm worried I'm going to run out of golden tabs because I love matching tabs to the book. But then the one other thing I wanted to let you guys know is that in the front of this, I'm keeping a little sticky note where I am marking every time there is a curse word, because I know that is something that people are sensitive to, that will bother people in my audience. I will say the curse words are not horrible. They're not like super atrocious. It's like, you know, HE double hockey sticks and DAMN. I am keeping a running tab of that just so I can give you guys all of the thoughts in the specifics like I told you guys I would. That's what's happening. I'm really excited to try Discord sprints with my patrons, and yeah, we're just gonna read for the rest of the night. My husband actually ended up ordering pizza because he had family that really wanted pizza that he is going to be spending time with this evening. So I was like, heck yeah, I don't have to cook. I'll eat some pizza and I can just lock in with my book. I will see you guys when I'm halfway through. I have this tab up here, so when I get here, I know that that's when I need to check in with you guys. I'll see you at the halfway mark. Hopefully this lighting isn't too harsh, but it is pretty late that I'm doing the check-in, so I have up like a softbox light. It is 9:19 p.m. and reading sprints with my Discord group are going really great. We just had our 3rd sprint and we have collectively read 81 chapters, which is super awesome. And I just made it to the 50% mark of Theo of Golden. So I'm going to give you guys my thoughts. So here you can see I have so many tabs because I'm thoroughly enjoying this book. There is so much wisdom in this and so much kindness that Theo shows the people that live in the town of Golden. There's a few areas that I want to share with you just to kind of give you a gist of the things that are sticking out to me about this book, but I'm annotating this, so anytime there is a scripture referenced in it, I go and I figure out what scripture that was and I write it down, because Theo, he just kind of quotes scripture without telling you where it's found in the Bible, and I love doing that. As a hairstylist, there are times when I am talking with people sitting in my chair and I don't quite know where they're at in their faith walk, and sometimes people just want wisdom and so I'll just tell them things from the Bible, and I don't necessarily tell them it's from the Bible, but God's truth is wisdom for everybody. And so I love that Theo communicates that way with people, and this so far is a fantastic spring read. Theo, he comes into Golden from a spring to spring, so I know I'm probably about to get into the fall and winter months, but all of the mentions of flowers and the springtime and trees and things like that, and birds and feathers and the color gold, and all of these spring elements are so evident in this book. So if you're looking for a book to read in the spring, this is like the perfect time to pick up this book, in my opinion. Now really quick, our next manner of business. So this right here, this might just look like a jar of coins that I've been collecting over the past couple years, but on the contraire, you would be mistaken. This is the swear jar that I am giving to the character Tony. Every single time a scene comes up with the character Tony, I have to pull out my little sheet here, write down a new curse word, and do some tally marks. And it's so funny. I haven't read a book with language in it in probably almost like a year, once the summer is here, so it's just been interesting reading a book with language in it. I really am not that bothered by it. I don't use language, but you know, it's one of those things. We are at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 36 curse words. 36 curse words halfway through, and like 95% of those belong to Mr. Tony. So there's that. I wanted to read you a couple scenes that kind of stood out to me, and there's so many, but obviously I don't want to be spoilery. Theo, he reminds me of that thing in scripture where, you know, we're supposed to do things in private and God is the one that sees our giving. And Theo is such a giving character, and he does so many things anonymously, and he meets these people in the community, and then he goes and he does things anonymously for these people and helps them and fulfills their needs. And I absolutely adore that about him. And one of the things that Theo said was, "I hope you enjoy this as much as I do. We might just become a formidable force for good at this rate. Yes? On earth as it is in heaven." And I just love that he quoted Matthew 6:10 there, and that's just kind of how he casually slips it into conversation. This next one was kind of just about Theo and how other people interpret him, and that is, Asher was not used to talking so freely about matters so personal. He would remark later that the old man listened in a way that made one dangerously willing to talk. A business partner had once described it as Theo's superpower. So just the way that he's so easy to talk to. He just meets these people and he just listens to them, but he also asks questions, but he does it in a way that shows that he's actually interested in the things that he's asking. He's not just passively asking them things, or he's not just talking to people and then tuning out. Like, he is so interested in people and in humanity and in their stories, and it is something that is just so inspiring to read. And then the next thing I wanted to share was, so he is communicating with the portrait artist. So he met the artist who's doing all of these paintings, and he asked the artist, "What do you think makes good art?" And Asher, the artist, he says, "It's hard enough to define what art is, much less good art. I wonder if there is such a thing. Maybe there are just good responses. But I guess if a work of art makes us see something familiar in a new way, or makes us feel something we ought to have felt all along, or shows us our place in the world more clearly, maybe then it qualifies as good. If it makes us better somehow, maybe that's what gives it value." And that just kind of makes me think about books and reading, and how a lot of people give books 5 stars because it inspired them, or it just made them feel deeply, even if it didn't make them better. Like, maybe it was something that just made them feel something new or see something in a new way. I just really adored that quote and that point of view. And then Theo, he goes on to respond in a way that he thinks that what makes it good is love being involved in that. And it's just such a beautiful storyline. And then there's one last place that I marked that I wanted to share with you for this halfway in checkup. And this is talking about Theo himself, kind of the narrator, sharing the neighborhood's perspective on who Theo is. So Theo is like this elusive enigma of a man. Nobody knows his last name. He won't share it with anybody, but he is a wealthy man. He does things in secret to help other people. Over time, the town just comes to accept, or the people that he's ran into just come to accept, that they're just not going to get to know everything about Theo. I loved this thought on Theo, like from the town's perspective. The unspoken consensus of the neighborhood was that he would be judged by his fruits, by what could be seen with their own eyes, and soon, by those standards, demeanor, speech, generosity, those who knew him became convinced that whoever he was, Theo could be trusted. No last name. Aside from that quirk, they were certain he was just like them, an average law-abiding citizen, only older and better, or so they thought. And it's just this beautiful story, and I'm like dying to know who Theo is, why he's there, what's going on with that whole part of the story. But it's just really beautiful getting to see the way that he interacts with other people, and then slowly throughout the story you're getting to know tiny bits of his past and who he is. And it is just a book that is truly one that makes you think deeply. There have been a couple sad things in it, mentions of death of children, and one kind of graphic, brief scene. So that's something that, for me, that's one of the hardest things for me to be able to read. But in the setting and the way the author writes it in this book, it's not something that has been like super triggering for me. Just as a mom, that's just my worst fear. So I try to avoid reading things with death of children. So just know that that is in here, but it's not like a whole part of the plot line. It's just you're meeting so many different people in this, and you're getting to know bits and pieces of their stories. And there are lots of traumatic things that have happened to these people. There are wonderful things that have happened to these people. It's really just like this observation of life. And it's so interesting and unique in seeing it through Theo's eyes. It has 5-star feels to it. Like, halfway through. So I will check in when I officially finish the book. It'll probably be in the morning because I don't think I will want to come in here and do a vlog check-in at midnight, likely when I'll finish this book. So that's my halfway through check-in. I'm loving it and I can't wait to see what I think when it is all said and done. Hello. It is Monday morning, and guess what? I finished Theo of Golden. Just round of applause for myself, pat myself on the back. I finished a whole book this weekend. Not only that, I finished Seeking Persephone, and then I made it 50 pages into a third book. So I think that was such a great, productive reading weekend for me. I also made it outside every single day. Zion and I went and played outside for an hour on Friday. Saturday, I went on like a 45-minute walk. It was pretty rainy, but it just felt so nice out. And then yesterday, Sunday, later in the day, I went again for another like 30-minute walk, and I'm just feeling so good. I'm feeling so good, getting some sunshine on me. And I also was able to do Zumba one day this weekend, and I'm just feeling really good. I had a telehealth doctor visit earlier this week, and my family care provider told me that she thinks I'm dealing with some seasonal depression, which isn't new for me. It's something I've definitely dealt with before, and I know it's kind of hard to like show on camera because when I get on camera, I'm always just like super bubbly and happy, and not that that's not true because that's just who I am, but I've definitely just been feeling down in the dumps. We have so much going on in our family and life has just been crazy. January, I was basically snowed in the entire month. Or no, that was like February. I am loving this sunshine. I am feeling so good. Finished a few books and I'm just so ready for spring to come around. The more that I think about it, the more I realize that spring is actually my favorite season. For the longest time, I would always be like, oh, the fall, I can't wait for the fall. And I love the fall. The fall is my second favorite season. There's just something about spring, the renewal of life, the flowers, the sunshine. It just makes me feel so good. So I am so ready for springtime. And speaking of springtime, I just want to say that this book is the perfect springtime book if you are looking for something to read in the spring. I think I should do a whole spring recommendations video. However, I haven't read a ton of perfect springtime books, so I do think that I'll have to do a like spring TBR or something, because this book, I can say without a doubt, I recommend it. And there's a lot of books in the spring that I can't say that because I haven't read a lot. But anyway, I want to go into my final thoughts here on Theo of Golden. I have a couple more tabs sticking out here that I want to read to you, but I just want to show you. I've got tabs, I've got annotations. I read part of this to my father-in-law last night, and I'm trying to get him to read it, and I want him to take my copy and to put his thoughts in it also, so I can just have that. But he was like tearing up at the parts that I was reading to him because this book is so beautiful. So I did try to keep track of all of the language in the book. So when it comes to content, there is no sexual content at all. There is one character that kind of makes some like weird comments about like an attractive younger girl, but it's not like it's a grown woman but just younger than he is, and that I just felt like was weird, but it also fit this character's character. There is a character that does have a little bit of a potty mouth, okay? So as for language, there were dozens of times that AT double hockey sticks were used, the other version of darn were used, maybe twice the B word was used, twice the W word was used, and in like the W word that's supposed to be offensive to women, but it was like kind of used in a biblical way. Like they were using a biblical term. If you read Revelation, you'll know what I'm talking about. But then also the A word. The A word was probably used like 10 to 15 times. So as for language, there's quite a bit of language, but it's not like every single page. It's just this one character when he shows up. Well, I guess there's only a handful of characters that use curse words, but you get pretty big reprieves between those types of scenes. So it's only a handful of characters. When those handful of characters show up, you're just pretty guaranteed to get some language. So if you do not like language like at all, I wouldn't recommend this, but I would recommend this book for so many other reasons. And the characters that were cursing were not believers. Theo does have one curse word. I think he says hell out of context. Theo of Golden. Theo, Theo, Theo. This book had me sobbing in the end. Like, it was tragic in the end, but it was so beautiful. The story was so wholesome, and there are a lot of great lessons that people can learn from Theo. Let me read these last couple scenes to you that I had marked to share. Mr. Derek is a lawyer. Mr. Derek, I met this old man a few months ago named Mr. Theo. He's from Portugal, and he gave me a portrait that an artist had done of me. And I learned something from Mr. Theo. God gave us faces so we can see each other better. I used to not look at people's faces so much, but I'm learning, just like I'm looking at you right now, Mr. Derek. 18 months ago, I hated you, but I never one time looked at your face. But I'm looking now, Mr. Derek, and I believe you're a good man. I think there's a lot of goodness down in you. Chills. Like, the way that society does not spend intentional time in person, one-on-one with each other. When's the last time that you felt comfortable sitting with somebody and looking in their eyes and having a whole conversation? For me, it's been too few and far in between, but there is a connection that we humanity feel when we are sitting and we are talking to somebody and having a conversation, and you see their humanity within their face, and also you see the image of God within everybody's face. We are all created in the image of God, and that's something that I have kind of just picked up from this. It's not like explicitly stated, but just something about the way that God made us. So beautiful. And then this last part, so there is like a fall and a Christmas time scene. However, those chapters are very short. The majority of this takes place in springtime, between one spring to the next spring. However, in between you do get snippets of the rest of the year. That's why I think it's perfect for spring, you know. Anyway, so this was Christmas time. Theo is writing a letter to one of his friends that he made in Golden, and he says, "It is an imponderable thought that the giver of faces, the face of heaven itself, the face for which every heart yearns, became a wee babe, misty-eyed and helpless, looking himself for the tender face of his mother on the night of the angels. Might that blessed face find you in good health and glad spirits today." Just so beautiful. So Theo, he is a Christian. He openly shares his faith with people without being like so preachy in a way. And I personally don't think preachy is bad. I think it's the way that you go about conversations with people, because I know plenty of people in my life who want nothing to do with Christianity, but I think the way you have conversations with these people matters, and the way that Theo has conversations with people is just such a beautiful example. The way he shares his faith, the way he talks about heaven. Hello, editing K here. Zion is in the room and he is very talkative, but as I am editing, I realized there's one more point that I wanted to bring up about the faith content in Theo of Golden. So it is very clear that Theo is a Christian. He is a follower of Christ, but we don't really know exactly what he believes in. And so I wish we got a little bit more of that in this story. And then the other thing is that I really wish we had a testimony for him, because he is a man who has a past. It seems pretty clear that he wasn't a follower of Christ in his early adulthood, just from some of the things that I picked up from the story. But I really think that this book would have been even more elevated had we gotten to know his testimony, like what brought him to Christ, what made made him change. But at the end of the day, I think even without that, it's a fantastic book just showing what it means to try to show other people love. I wish there was a little bit more coming from the faith content, but I also think that because there's not, that's probably why it's so popular also in secular spaces right now. This is a great book, I think, that Christians and non-Christians can read and love, and I think maybe that is what draws non-Christians to this book, because there is that little bit of faith to it. It doesn't feel like you're reading this whole redemption arc story. As a Christian, I would have loved to see more of that, but I can also see why people love it, whether they're Christian or not. I just wanted to make that last a little bit more clear about how much faith is in this book and that kind of stuff in regards to Theo. So we don't know exactly what he believes, but he is a great example of a follower of Christ, and I think that's what is important. I really enjoyed that, but I wanted to make that note because I wanted to get it in this video. I'm sure there's more thoughts as I'm editing I'll think about, but I'll just throw everything I can in my Goodreads reviews, so be sure to check that out in the description box. I don't know that I will have all of my thoughts perfectly summed up in this video for this, because I like to spend a few days before I write my official review. So I'll link in the description box my final official review for Theo of Golden, but this is just a 5-star book. It's so beautiful. I see this book having the capacity to be like a modern classic. I could see people 100 years from now reading this and loving it. It is so beautiful. I'm so glad that I read this, and I'm sure there's so much more that I want to say, so I'll try to wrap up everything as nicely as I can in a bow on Goodreads. I'm so glad I read this. It's worth the reading experience, absolutely. It's one of those books that makes you sit down and just think about the way you interact with people in the world around you, and it's inspiring. So this Theo of Golden, I think, is absolutely worth the hype. I'm going to go through and do this in my reading journal with you next, because I found the perfect stickers to put in my reading journal, so we'll do that and I'll end the video with that. But before we jump over to that, I do want to just tell you about the other book that I started really quick. I'm 50 pages into The Good Fortune of Miss Robbins by Melanie Dickerson. This book comes out March 17th. It's really cute so far. I'm trying not to give like my hopes up, because the Regency era has become one of my favorite genres, but I've read books like Edenbrooke, Seeking Persephone, Courting Miss Lancaster. I just finished Romancing Daphne in the beginning of this vlog, and they just have my whole heart. They are books that quite literally had me laughing like out loud from page 1. And this book, I'm not getting all the big funnies that I love. Like, I don't know. It has made me chuckle a few times, and I am really liking the main character. At first I was kind of uncertain about her, but 50 pages in, I'm warming up to her, and I don't know what it is. Sometimes I just read a character and I'm like, I feel like I just can't connect with you. But what's refreshing about her is that Miss Robbins, Charlotte Robbins, she has left her home where she grew up. She was an orphan, and then she grew up in a school for ladies. She's been hired as the governess for Mr. Brookhaven, or the Earl of Brookhaven, for his little siblings. So she is an orphan. She only grew up knowing this small town and this school, and she's like, I just want to go out in the world. Like, I love my hometown, but I want to see more. I want to get married. I want to fall in love. I want the things that I can only read in storybooks. I want to experience a storybook, essentially. And I love that about her. It's so refreshing. Maybe it's because I've mostly read secular books in my lifetime. My journey in finding Christian books and clean, God-honoring books is still relatively new. It was last June, July when I made the switch. But I do not like the whole trope of the woman not wanting to get married. And even like in the Regency era, like, oh, I don't want to get married. I don't want to do anything society wants me to do. It's so refreshing having a woman who wants to get married, because I can relate with that, because I love marriage. I love my husband. And I think it's so beautiful, and it's something God created for us to experience here on earth. And my heart breaks every time I read about a character who wants nothing to do with marriage. I'm loving that in this book, is that she just seems like such a hopeful character. There have also been references to scripture and God in this book already, only 50 pages in, so I think this is my first official Christian Regency romance, like explicitly Christian. That's bringing me some joy. So I'm just hoping that there is a balance between humor and faith, because that could be like my perfect cup of tea. So I'm enjoying this. I'm only hesitant because I've just read some of like my absolute favorite Regency books ever lately. So now I feel like my standards are so high, but I am really enjoying this so far. I am also enjoying the Earl of Brookhaven. He is kind of this reserved character, and you can tell he's got a lot of layers to him, so I'm excited to break down those layers and figure out who he is. The Good Fortune of Miss Robbins by Melanie Dickerson. This is starting off on a good note for me. You'll get all of my final thoughts when I do my March reading wrap up, but so far so good. The last thing I want to do is show you some reading journaling with Theo of Golden so you can see how I go about my process in selecting stickers and all that kind of stuff. And I found the perfect stickers within the Journalsay bundle that I got in the mail the other day, so I'm so excited to use those and show you guys how I go about doing that. Let's go get some reading journaling done. I could totally be up in my office area right now doing reading journaling, but the lighting coming into my bedroom right now is just so pretty and I just want to be cozy. I'm going to do some reading journaling in bed, and I'm just going to show you guys my process for that. Zion is hanging out with us right now, so you're going to hear lots of toddler sound effects. He is currently flying a toy tool and pretending it's an airplane. I just love his imagination. But let's go ahead and get into the reading journaling. So I have this little bed tray right here. So I'm going to use this while I'm just in here doing my journaling. I will link one in the description box because I feel like I will get questions about it. I don't know if it'll be the exact one, but I'll let you know. But anyway, my process for reading journaling. So I just printed off a new sheet of stickers. I accidentally printed Theo of Golden twice, but it's fine. I can use them. But then I also printed all of the Lancaster family series because that's something I need to do. Stardust and Silence, and then just some upcoming reads I'm hoping to read or things I've recently hauled. The first thing I do, I'm going to update my reading list. I have finished Theo of Golden, so on my hopeful reads, I'm going to find where I wrote that down. And then I'm going to fill in the genre. I'm going to write inspirational. I didn't fill in the genres ahead of time because I feel like sometimes something can be listed as one genre, but then it might be something totally different. So I'm just going to put inspirational. Okay, so that is checked off. And then I'm going to go and update my completed reads. Wow, I haven't completed this in a minute, so I have a few to add here. I need to add Silence and Stardust, or Stardust and Silence. Which way is it? Stardust and Silence. I need to add Why Did Jesus Have to Die? And I will go through and fill out the rest of this because it's like star ratings and that kind of stuff. I'll fill out the rest of that after. Honestly, I don't like this memorable characters part because if I am going to remember a lot about them, it'll probably be in my summary and thoughts. I feel like there's just so much space there. Some people might really like that. And then the favorite quotes, I feel like there's too little space. Like you can put one quote there maybe. So I don't know. I don't have the perfect reading journal yet. What do you think? Should I just make the perfect reading journal? Because I'm tired of not liking a lot of things about the reading journals that I have. here I am going to find a quote or two. And then here, this whole space, I am just going to fill with stickers and then some thoughts. The majority of my thoughts are on Goodreads, so I don't feel the need to write down every single thing in my personal journal. This is really just like my creative release from finishing the book. There are some stickers that I found from Journalsay that I'm really excited. I do have this like letter paper, so Theo writes people a lot of letters. I thought it could be fun to like take a portion of this in here, and then I got this out to show you guys how it works. This is that like glue tape roller. But all you do is you go on the back of it. I think they work pretty well. Maybe you can see the pattern it makes, maybe not, but it's just sticky, like. So I'm going to glue that down. And we'll start the collage that way. The journal came with these cute stickers, so I'm gonna put one of these 5-star ones at the top. Where do I wanna put it? I'll put it right here. And then I found perfect stickers in my Journalsay things. So I'm going to use this vineyard right here. I was stuck between this one and this one, but I'm gonna use this one because when Theo was a little boy, he grew up in a town with a vineyard, and I just thought that was so perfect. I grabbed some washi tapes that have gold on them, so I think I'm going to do a border around this page after, just because it's Theo of Golden, but I tried to pick springier ones because this was such a springy book. But I found some perfect stickers in these. Let me show you. In this one, there is a painting of a sunset, which if you've read the book, that is like an important scene where somebody is painting a sunset by the ocean. So I am of course going to use that in my reading journal because it couldn't be more perfect to do. Right here, that's what I'm gonna use. That's like the perfect sunset painting for this book. Just gonna put that up here. In this book, there are some coffees, and like coffee shop is like a huge thing in this book, so I'm gonna find a coffee to put in this collage. I think I'm gonna do this little one right here, just because I have bigger stickers that I want to add in next, but it fits the coffee shop vibe. Honestly, I'm just gonna cover up where it says summary and thoughts because I can. With the little coffees. Okay, now this one, I'm really excited about it. I love the artwork, but in Theo of Golden, like portraits and art and painting and music are a huge deal. There's so many like art ones, and I found the perfect one. If you've read the book, you will know why I chose this. A photo of a man painting, and then also there is a photo of a woman painting in a field. If you've read this book, you know that that could not be the most perfect sticker duo to put in this. I'm gonna kind of, what am I gonna do? Okay, I'm gonna overlap him over the vineyard just a smidge. I'm gonna stick her just below. So here is my little Theo of Golden collage. So far, I think it's so perfect for the story. This is why I love sticker books so much, and why I like having a variety of different seasons and just different types of things, because I love doing this. And when I read stories, I like being able to have a variety of stickers that can fit the theme of the story. I will write in my overall thoughts here. I know it's not that much room, but I don't really care. I'm gonna put the majority of my thoughts on Goodreads. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. I think I'm gonna go with this one for a border. Here's what I have. I'm not the biggest fan of this washi tape pattern, but I feel like the coloring kind of fit the best with the hodgepodge of different pictures here. But I'm going to go ahead and fill out like my star rating, and I'm gonna put my star rating over here. I have 25 questions to ask to rate a book, but I know this one is 5-star for sure. And then I'm going to add some quotes and my final thoughts, and then I will show you the finished look. has been a very productive weekend reading vlog for me. This vlog was actually only over a weekend, which kind of surprises me because I did not know how long this was going to go. I did want to do a bookshelf tour, but I have gotten a lot of books recently. I've sold a lot of books, gotten rid of a lot of books, and so I think I'm going to do a book haul video as well as a bookshelf tour within that book haul, so that way I can maybe do some organizing of the bookshelf with you guys. I'm not sure, but I think I'm gonna just combine that into one video because there's just not enough time to do that in this video, or else we're gonna be sitting here all day long. So keep an eye out for that video. I think I'm going to schedule that either for the next video or it will be coming in April. Just know if there's anything specific that you like to see in bookshelf tours, let me know. My shelf is like what you see behind me. I have a couple other random areas in the house where like I have a shelf of books here and there, but this is like my main area. So if there's anything specific you want to know about maybe how I organize my books or anything like that, let me know and I'll add it into my bookshelf tour. Thank you so much for watching this vlog today. I know sometimes vlogs can get a little bit long, so if you made it this far in the video, please leave me an emoji of a star below because I feel like I had a 5-star reading weekend. I so appreciate you being here, your support, you watching until the end. I hope you have the absolute best week ever, and I will see you next time. Bye!